For the 23-24 season, Talking Wolves are proudly sponsored by Green King Sport, where football is more than a game.
Green King Sport venues are showing every single one of Wolves' televised fixtures over the course of the season. So instead of turning to the internet for a dodgy stream, why not get together with your mates, go to a Green King Sport venue and get closer to the action?
Now, this season, Green King Sport have launched a Green King Sport Instagram page. It's home of fan content, loads of giveaways and competitions on there. They've actually got a Champions League final tickets giveaway on there at the minute. Hopefully they're doing it next season because you might see Gary O'Neill's Wolf side in that, the way things are going. But there's loads of other prizes on there, signed shirts and much more.
So to make sure you're first to know about all the action over on the Green King Sport page, go and drop them a follow on their Instagram. And obviously you'll be helping us out here at Talking Wolves as well.
Hello, welcome to the Talking Wolves podcast. I'm back. It's been, I think, 4 weeks since my last podcast, but it's fantastic to be back. Unfortunately, it's not off the back of a win, but of course, I'm not on my own. I'm joined by Dave. Dave, how you doing, mate?
Very well, mate. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I had surgery, didn't I, 3 weeks ago, and then my granddad passed away the week after, so it was like a bit of a double whammy. So I had a couple of weeks off and then the international break, which was probably the worst thing out of the three of them, to be honest. And I'm back, but yeah, I'm all good, thanks, mate. The knee's healing okay, so
good.
So hopefully the next charity match I'll be back. I'll be back in amongst it. But talking to charity, Dave, how was the sleep out? We've not spoke since, have we?
Yeah, it was good. So it's coming up to 2 weeks ago now. Well, it's been a week and a half already, so it's gone quite quick. I was good. I think it never gets any easier. Every year we do it, so that's the third time I've done it, and I actually did try and get my head down this year, but it's just awful. It's one of those where you do sleep, but you're almost like aware of everything that's going on around you at the same time. And I had bags down there, like down to the top of my cheeks. It was horrible. So I was actually at work in the morning, so I finished sleep out, kick you out about 5:30. And then I went home, slept for about 4 hours, 3 hours, and then went to work after. So it was all right. But I mean, in terms of fundraising, we did more than we did last year, which was good. We raised on our individual page £826. Right. I mean, I'll very quickly share. There were a lot of anonymous donated, so I appreciate if you did donate. And obviously, families of us like the Talking Wolves. We've got Paul Ellis, Ben, Plonster, Tom Brooks, Jeffrey, Louise, Roger, Freshwall, Beowulf, Mad, David Knipe, and Ernesto. Lovely little name. Ernesto, John Paint, Colin, Ali, Ben, KTF, anonymous with £50. Not too sure who that is. Cam, Gemma Mason, she sounds lovely. Sheila and John, USA J, Richard Lovett, Schmeghead Fred, Andrew Hadfield, Connor McHale, Matt Cooper, Dave Hay, Aaron, and Wolfie G. So if I didn't shout you out, it's probably because you put it as anonymous, but I really do appreciate everyone that donated.
I don't know how you went to work the next day, mate. I remember we did it last year. I think we were quite fortunate last year that we did it, and the weather it was fairly mild considering the time of the year, but this year I imagine it was freezing.
Well, in terms of I was all right. I was pretty well wrapped up, but last year they had like the party in the Billy Wright bit. They'd like a charity event, and Steve Ball kept walking over to where we were
with beers.
Yeah. Well, it was even worse this year because they had that, and then behind us in the North Bank bar, they had a wedding on whilst we were all sat there. So they're all there getting pissed off. Like, it was like we're in a zoo. Yeah, it was like we're in a zoo. And but then obviously it was raining as well, so everyone towards the front of the North Bank was just finished, man. So everyone came over towards the back onto the padded seats and stuff. But yeah, it was just not comfortable. So yeah, but yeah, enjoyable experience nonetheless.
And mentioning the less fortunate, Jord, how you doing, mate? I'm joking.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Been up to much? Been away at all? You were in Copenhagen, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Copenhagen for work last week. Last week it was. And I missed the sleep out because I was in Bromyard for a couple of days, so on a weekend away. So that was nice. warmer than probably what Dave and Finn were, bless them. But yeah, I've missed the last 2 sleep outs, so I feel like I've got to be there next year. I've been on holiday both times, but I feel like I need to be there. And yeah, it's obviously for a good cause. So yeah, well done to everyone that's donated, and well done to you, Dave, and everyone that took part.
Well done, mate. I think Dave and Finn were probably warmer than you were at the weekend though in Copenhagen. When I went last year, mate, oh my word, it was so cold.
Yeah, -6. So it was
not enjoyable, is it?
Not really, but the thing, not enjoyable. It's like obviously for work. So I was there for 3 days, and because of they've obviously got shorter days because of being more northern than the UK. It's pitch black walking into the office, then it's pitch black by about 3 o'clock. So it was pretty much finishing work, having a couple of beers, but obviously as well keeping warm because, like I say, it was about -6 for most of it. So. Yeah, and I'm back again next week, so I'll be even fucking colder.
Are you taking your miss? Do you take your missus with you?
Okay, well, I'm not taking her next time. It's Christmas party next week, so I've been there about 5 weeks, and I've been invited to the Christmas do, which will be fun. Just don't make a tit of myself.
In Copenhagen?
In Copenhagen, yeah.
Mate, I hope it's paid for.
It's all paid for, yeah. Hotels, flights, whatever.
Mate, it's so expensive.
Yeah, so the one thing was I went for drinks on the Tuesday with some of the people I work with, who are a lovely bunch, by the way. And they said, "Oh, what do you want to drink?" And I was like, "Well, I know it's just Carlsberg, pretty much." They said, "No, you want a special?" I was like, "Special?" I thought I was getting like fucking fleeced because I was like, "The special."
Rowan chips.
I was like, "Yeah, what's this about?" It's like I thought it was going to be like bush tucker trial. I thought it was going to be like piss or something. Anyway, I had a special. And they said, "Oh, we'll tell you once you've ordered it and tried it what it is." I was like, "What the fuck's this about?" But anyway, I went away with it and had it. It was nice, but it was a Tuborg special. So like Carlsberg exports like quite nice, but Carlsberg's not great. Tuborg is export's all right, but Tuborg's a bag of piss. Let's be honest. But Tuborg special was lovely. It was really nice. So yeah,
lovely.
No.
It was nice, yeah. It was better, yeah. I mean, I'd never order a fucking two. If you told me a special Tuborg, I was like, what, twice the strength of piss? Like, what? Nah. But it was actually good. So, yeah.
It's like double impact because I find like Carlsberg's like drinking a colostomy bag anyway. And then you've got to pay like £14 for the displeasure of it.
So it's about eight or 9 quid, I think.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sea, but it's like I wasn't that keen on it just because I think how expensive and how cold it was. But anyway, we digress. I don't really want to talk about this, if I'm honest. I think we've said on this podcast now quite a few times, especially over the last year or two. Like, we used to get so like irate about football, but now I'm just like, it annoys me. But I'm after like an hour or so, I'm all right. I'm still not all right about this. I'm still not all right about these these decisions from last night. It's an absolute joke. But let's start off with the lineup, Dave. Were you surprised not to see Sarabia in the starting 11? He didn't seem to like being left out. He left a comment on the Wolves official Instagram page, didn't he, today?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I think the team that Gary O'Neill started with was the team that I expected to see start. I think in terms, we spoke about it last time. I think in terms of the system, and I think you've got to keep the same shape, and it's just changing the personnel. So I think Bueno in for Dawson was the most straightforward one. Who would you drop for Sarabia to come in? I know obviously he did well for that sort of 5-10 minutes against Spurs, but he hasn't shown it enough yet. Same as Kalajdzic and Tommy Doyle, in previous weeks, did well in the previous game. You've got to do it more on a more consistent basis to warrant a starting place for me. So Bellegarde started, and I think that was obviously the right decision by the manager.
Santi Bueno coming in. Jord, what were your thoughts on his performance? I've seen kind of conflicting opinions on Twitter. Some are saying he had a solid game. Some saying he looked a little bit shaky. I've personally thought he looked a little bit unorthodox in the way that he plays the ball, but I thought he was pretty solid, to be honest.
I thought he was okay. I think coming in for his debut, well, I know he played in the Carabao Cup game at Ipswich, but coming in for his Premier League debut, I thought he was okay. I don't think he did anything wrong, but I mean, and again, there's more topics to say, but we knew that what Raul's like last season, but I feel like he's regressed even more. It looks like, so it wasn't exactly like a difficult task for him, but I thought he was okay. Like I say, I mean, I've seen people, be hot or cold on him on Twitter, but I just think that's with anything in life at the moment, you need to be one way or the other. You can't just be, you know what, something was okay and they did all right. And I think he was okay and they did all right, to be honest with you. I don't think you could attribute any of the goals to him or being, any fault or problems. But he was solid enough, but okay. It's probably where I'd put it.
Before we get into the bigger decisions, Dave, within the opening 5 minutes, there were two of the most blatant yellow cards I think I've ever seen in a game of Premier League football. The Anthony Robinson and Harrison Reed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I get that you want to let the game flow and you don't want to set a bit of a precedent in the opening few minutes where you've got to start booking everyone, Dave. But they are yellow cards for as long as I've got a hole up my backside, aren't they? They're just, and the fact that he's not booked them.
I think you're right. That's what the referee obviously didn't want to set that standard where he's going to have to, be so closely looked at. But they're both so late. The Harrison Reed one, that's the one I remember more vividly, but it was so late. Like for me,
the one as well was awful.
Yeah, they are bookings. It doesn't matter if it's in the first minute or the 90th minute. They're both bookable offences. So, and we'll come on to the referee and his overall performance, but I just think it just lacked so much consistency throughout the game. And for me, that they're bookable offences, so really frustrating, and well, in terms of cautions and red cards, which I'm sure we'll talk about more over the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it was frustrating, really frustrating.
Jord, I didn't think we started the game well enough anyway. I thought we looked a little bit half asleep. It seems to be quite the occurrence in away games at the minute. We just seem to be quite poor.
Yeah, it's it sort of follows on a little bit to how we finished with Lopetegui, really, as well. Away from home, just real, we took thumpings, didn't we, at Brighton and the Emirates, I think.
Yeah,
from memory.
Don't think those performances and results get spoken about enough, by the way. We just seem to
those
accept.
two.
Yeah, we seem to accept it, but that's for another podcast.
They're really bad. But no, you are right. We started quite slow, quite passive, and again, like I don't think it's a miss to like how a lot of teams play away from home as well. Just sort of try and build slowly into the game. But it's frustrating when you've seen how we've been in some games, especially at Molineux, where we've took games to people from the off and caused a lot of problems. So we have got it in our locker. I just think it was a bit of a sloppy start, sluggish start, and yeah, I mean the Fulham goal is really poor, isn't it? I think the first goal, let's be honest, I think Bellegarde, for me, fell asleep, let his man run off him, Anthony Robinson, and Iwobi puts it in the back of the net, and I swear that guy just haunts us like Jamie Scowcroft and Dele Adebola did in the early 2000s. And just bang average players just seem to put the ball in the back of the net against us. It's bad, so bad.
We had the discussion in the group chat. I don't mind Alex Iwobi, and I don't think Dave does, but Geordie's very much
awful.
No. Geordie, you don't like it.
He just fucking runs around, mate. I could find someone who with energy and runs around like on a Sunday league pitch. He just runs around and like he only scores against us as well. Like he looks good when we watch him because he fucking scores against us. You watch him the weekend, whoever they've got Liverpool away, he'll be fucking anonymous. Completely anonymous.
But he scores.
Yeah. Well, he probably will now, but I reckon he won't. He's fucking wank.
To be fair to Fulham, the first was a well-worked move. I thought some clever off-the-ball stuff, but Dave, you expect Bellegarde, especially in that position, he's got to come back and he's got to be a bit more switched on.
Yeah, the warning sign was there, like you said. With that from the right hand side. Or their right-hand side when they whipped it in and sort of Raul went to try and flick it and he completely missed it. So I think that was a warning sign there that, that's what they're going to try and do, get it in behind wide and whip it back across. there were a number of people that you could pinpoint. Also, people blaming Semedo. I'm not really sure how that happens. Bellegarde's got to get closer to the action really there. He loses that runner. But Iwobi's got so much space. So somebody, whether it be a centre-half, Lamina was sort of covering the area, but not really covering a man. So there's a number of people you could blame for it. But I think we did make that far too easy for Fulham. The ball shouldn't have come into the box, but Alex Iwobi shouldn't have had that space to just direct it into the back of the net, really.
Yeah, you talk about Bellegarde there. Should have done better. But I tell you what, for the first goal, for Cunha's goal, he had Anthony Robinson on toast in the Jord. It's he's got such great balance when he dribbles, and he seems so direct and strong. I mean, Robinson's no slouch, but he just turned him inside out, and it was great to see a Wolves wide man provide a pinpoint cross. There's only really Cunha that he probably could have played that ball to, and it's a tidy finish, to be fair, but I think he more than made up for the error with that run and cross.
Yeah, it's good. It's really, really good play. I think from what I've seen of him, I think he's more effective out wide as well than I know against Spurs. And last night he sort of played inside a little bit, makes it a 3 when we were out of possession. But he's definitely more effective, I think, like out wide in those positions. But for the goal, yeah, he was brilliant. Like I say, he had Robinson on toast and stood the ball up to the back post, and Cunha couldn't miss really. So yeah, like I say, did atone for it. With his play, but it was just a good goal. And what was the positive to see about that was how many like Wolves shirts were in and around the box as well. I think we had about 5 in and around the box, and that's been very rare for us in previous regimes where we normally only have like 1 or 2 people to try and hit. So it was good to see players getting in the box and breaking those lines a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I think Lamina's been given the task of, if you can get forward, do get forward, and Gomez has been sitting. And we've seen that from Lamina in the previous game at Spurs, that if he does get it forward, he can be quite handy in those in those areas. But let's talk about this fucking penalty VAR nonsense. Oh God, what were your thoughts in real time, Dave? Do you think it looked like a penalty?
It's hard to see when I'm watching on TV at that angle, because I think that angle is sort of from the TV is more as a zoomed out angle as the one that VAR we're obviously looking at. So it looked like, and same with the João Gomez one, which we'll talk about. It's hard to tell, but in real time, when somebody goes in for the ball and another player goes flying over the top, it's and the referee. It's like the same with the referee. The referee should have had the angle to see what had actually happened, but obviously he's gone with it. So in real time, it's hard to say yes or no, but I think again it is absolute bollocks that that's being given. Look, this sort of situation, you can understand sometimes that the referee gives it, but this is the whole reason VAR's there, to stop, to make sure he makes the right decision. And I think every man and his dog could tell you right now that wasn't a penalty, but for some reason, the only person that thought it was is Stuart Twatwell. Again, gets it wrong. Again, against WolVAmpton, wonders he shafts us. Again, he just focusing on the one angle. I don't understand because the first angle he was looking at was the one where you can see he clearly gets the ball. Then he focuses all the other angles on the opposite side. So the issue with that particular one, rather than the referee, is VAR once again.
I don't mind VAR as a concept, but
it's idiots running it, full stop. We're gonna have this conversation probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times again this season. It's a load of bollocks.
But there's no way you can eliminate subjectivity. So the only way for me, you just get fucking rid of it. Have goal line technology and automated offsides, and be done with that. And that's what you have. Because I feel like the standard of refereeing has declined, because they're over reliant on VAR. They've got a backup, and almost like the art of refereeing is they're not using the skills. But I can't believe that they've looked at that, saw that Semedo, and deemed it's not clear and obvious. But how is it not clear and obvious if he's won the ball? But then you've got fucking twats like Alan Smith saying like,
he changed his mind about 4 times.
Semedo can feel a bit hard done by. He's like, well, how can you see what it's given and he can be hard done by? Because he's won the ball. He's won the ball, and Kearney's gone down like the collapse the legs and they've conned the referee.
The amount of contact from Semedo on Kearney is so minimal as well. He probably catches his toe. That's it. So,
but if you win the ball and the tackle isn't dangerous, then what's the problem? It should have been overturned. The fact that they've not even asked him to review it is a shambles, Jord. I'm sure you've got some nice words to say about it.
Yeah, I'm just sick of talking about them. To be honest with you, I don't want to give them the airtime. They're just fucking atrocious. I've said it many times. Best league in the world with the most inefficient, ineffective, negligent people from the top down, and there'll be no repercussions from again. They just keep getting away with it, and it's just awful. It's just so bad. I don't even want to I don't even want to keep talking about it because it is that bad. Like if I fucked up at my job, I'd get the sack. Or I might get a written warning, or you might get a written warning, and then you might get then you might get the sack. Like nothing happens to these refs. They get protected, and then they'll just demote them for a week, and then you'll have fucking bald twats like Dale Johnson going, he wasn't demoted. They always go to the championship. No, they fucking don't.
Not been to the championship.
And then he goes and manages fucking Chelsea, Man City the week after. No, they don't. They're protected, and it's mad. It does my head in. And for me, they dig themselves a hole, right? Because Stuart Atwell will be saying it's not clear and obvious, and I'm doing inverted commas. It's not clear and obvious that Semedo didn't touch Kearney, so I'm going to stick with it on field. But then, how's it clear and obvious for the fucking? How's the second one? I know we'll get to it. How's the second one clear and obvious error that they has to go to the monitor for that one and not the first one?
But even on the first one, why take 3 or 4 minutes to check it if you're just going to say, sound. Like if you know it's not a penalty, just say it's not a penalty. Or say, right, yeah, I think he might have got the ball. Let's go to the monitor. Let's have a quick chat together for 60 seconds to discuss it together. Rather than Atwell be the sole, and the fact that the referee after the game has said, yeah, we got that wrong.
Nothing will change. Nothing will change regardless. But what really needs to happen, I think I said it before, is it needs to be like how it is in rugby. And I mean, this is the only thing I would take from rugby. But the referee's like wide up to the stadium or wide up to the TV, so that you can hear the video officials talking to the referee on them, and they're actually explaining how they come to the decision or what they're looking at.
Too toxic.
Yeah, I know, but why? Because if you're having an honest conversation, again, we might not like the decision that comes to it, but if I understand the rationale of why you're giving a decision, I can probably get on board with it a little bit more to go, actually, you know what? Okay, it's been given. This is the threshold, and that's another thing. By the way, we'll get into that in a sec. But I'm okay. People have got opinions. If I understand the rationale, I don't have to agree with your opinion. But if you tell me your rationale, I can accept it and just move on with it and go, that's why they think that. Okay, cool. But that's another thing that's so like just blind at the moment now. The thresholds. When it first came in, it was like every time a ball hit a hand in the box, it was a penalty.
Yeah.
And everyone knew it wasn't handball.
They changed the rules halfway through the season.
Yeah, and then they put the threshold up. Now it's down again. Now apparently they're increasing it. So I was listening to TalkSport earlier, and they want it to be used in less than 25% of instances. It's like don't start putting metrics on how often you want to use it. Just get the fucking right decision in the first place.
So how about if you have like 8 incidents in the first 15 minutes? Does that mean for the rest of the game you can't use it?
Exactly that. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, don't put metrics on something that you can't put metrics on. Like, just officiate the job and officiate it correctly. Just improve.
I honestly think that if you put us 3 in charge of VAR, we'd probably come to more correct conclusions than them.
And quicker, I think, as well.
Genuinely.
A lot of them, it's mad. If you give us a week to learn how to use the lines and all that, mate, us 3 sound. Honestly, if Howard, if you're listening, son, get us in.
And and I've said it before on this on the podcast. The professional referee or amateur referee Twitter accounts who do nothing but create a larger divide by putting up petulant posts around. Well, the Wolves should have hired a defensive coach and but managers are held accountable for performances. Players are. Managers have to do post-match interviews. Players do, and if a manager's not getting results, he gets a sack. And if a player's not getting results, he either gets dropped or fucking flogged.
And then it's say for argument's sake, all right, Nelson Semedo, or let's use the João Gomez one because that's probably a little bit more subjective. João Gomez, does he get the chance to replay that tackle 5 different times to make sure he doesn't do it again? No, it just happens there and then. Well, referee's got fucking however long he wants to make sure that the right decision's made, and still they're getting it wrong. So you can't. These referee accounts that are probably refereeing in the Bilston First Division, that they know their arse from their elbow, like you said, what stop spouting rubbish online and just yeah, it's a load of rubbish.
But and they say that let referees come under more scrutiny than players. No, because when you're constantly getting the big decisions wrong, you are going to get scrutinised. It's like if your goalkeeper let one bobble over his foot 3 games in a row. That's a big decision. That's a big call. Look at the stick if Sarr did that. They'd be burning effigies of him around WolVARhampton town centre. So why is it any different? Of course, they're scrutinised for the big decisions. They're wealthy individuals. They get paid a lot. But at the on Monday night there was what 4 big major decisions. 3 were wrong. 1 was. I think it's a penalty personally. I think the João Gomez one is a penalty. I think it's naive from Gomez. But the other 3, not to send Tim Ream off, not to send Vinicius off, and the penalty is incomprehensible that they've come to that decision. Because VAR now is, so you're incentivizing players to dive. If someone puts your head towards you, you've got to chuck yourself on the floor.
Yeah.
Kilman's naive as well. If I'm Gary O'Neill, I'm saying to him, roll around on the floor, mate.
100%.
Roll around on the floor because you know you're not going to get anything.
He's too nice in that situation. He Kilman, and I think that's just how Kilman is. He's a professional, and I think if you headbutt Jose Sarr, Nelson Semedo, probably 9 of the other Wolves players on that pitch, they go down there, and I think he's the nicest one on that pitch. But like Gary O'Neill summed it up perfectly. Sunday kids watch Premier League football, they love it, and an 8 or 9-year-old is going to watch that game, potentially not listen to what Gary O'Neill said, and says, "Oh, flipping heck, I can put my head against someone, I can nut someone as long as it's not a full Zidane."
Yeah, Gary O'Neill had said that the referee said to him that their headbutt was soft, but
have you ever heard of a soft headbutt? Have you ever heard of a soft headbutt?
No,
it fucking hurts.
But you can't, you can't square up to someone and put your head into them because it's a red card.
The difference is, when players go like head to head, that sound, but that is Kilman's nose and lips were compressed. It's a load of rubbish, man. Load of rubbish.
It's just, but again, it's just I hate when people do that as well because it's always just fucking. It's just pathetic, innit? It's like you're a soft cock and you're rubbing faces with someone and you do fucking nothing. Prick.
Apparently, that's the 4th time Vinicius has been looked at VAR for violent conduct. Yeah, for violent conduct this season. Wasn't that raising the alarm bell straight away there as well?
I don't think you should use that kick a football.
Yeah, I remember we were linking with him for fucking ages.
Couldn't get a word with him back then.
It's just so frustrating, and it's like I know it's cliche and everyone says it. I'm not going again, but the last year and a half, I am just so not arsed about football. And we're doing well. I enjoy watching us play, and I think what Gary O'Neill's doing under the circumstances is a good job. And I like the squad. I like what they stand for. But I'm bored of it. I'm bored of just the same shit. I can deal with us being shit, but when you feel like it when you're playing against 12 men, it's just, and that's why I've not been to one away day this season. I can't justify spending 150 quid on an away day to be fucking shafted.
I'm just numb to it now. I'm just numb to it. I really can't be even yesterday. People watched my reaction, and I was just like, It just happened. I just went straight over my head because it just feels normal now that we are going to get a crap decision go against us. Not once did I think any of those VAR decisions would drop in favour of Wolves. Not once.
No.
As soon as they were checking the second penalty, I knew it would get given. I'm sort of more leaning on the side like you, Matt. I can understand why people are frustrated, but I think I was surprised the referee didn't give it. I think it is probably a penalty. But the first one, definitely, that's a load of bollocks. And the fact that they just kept looking at that opposite angle says it all, really.
Yeah. I mean, I was listening to Gary O'Neill's post-match press conference today, and my missus was behind me, and I had it on. She was putting some clothes away. And Gary O'Neill said, I spoke to the referee, and the referee said about the headbutt being soft. So does that mean that you can headbutt people in football as long as it's soft? And she turned to me and went, is that right? Surely they can't do that. And I went, no. And if you know it and you've watched 2 games of football in your life, and you've got a referee who's paid £150,000 to £200,000 a year.
Surely that referee is going to get in trouble though, because he's obviously had a conversation in his mind, probably in confidence with Gary O'Neill, and Gary O'Neill has chucked everything out there, which he should. But that bloke has definitely said stuff to hit Gary O'Neill that he shouldn't have.
Nothing will happen though, mate.
No.
Because it's his word. I was going to say, it's his word versus Gary O'Neill's. And if he just pleads and says, I don't know what Gary O'Neill's on about, I never spoke to him, where's the proof?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Dale Johnson did that. Did you see that as well? Dale Johnson, who you mentioned earlier. Basically, he's part of ESPN, if anyone doesn't know, and he does like VAR reviews and stuff. Like he reviews why decisions were done and given. He was like, Gary O'Neill never said that. Gary O'Neill never said that. And like he was like, mate, there's literally an interview clip here on TalkSport of him saying that. So like, what you on about? So that referee should, not that he will, but he should get in trouble because he's obviously, from the PGML's point of view, sort of chucked them, under the bus really with some of those decisions.
Let's talk about the Wang penalty that he scored. For me, it's a penalty, no doubt about it. I initially thought that it was a red card because I know it's last man, but he's not played the ball. And I know we had the situation with David Luiz a few seasons ago at Molineux for Arsenal where it's not a dangerous tackle, but because he hasn't played the ball by the letter of the law, then it's a red card. But I think it's changed again. I don't know if you guys know, but failing that, he's on a yellow card anyway. So if that's not another yellow card, and the referee deemed that as too much of a punishment, he's the last man. He's just come across him.
It doesn't make sense, and that was sort of going back to what we said earlier about the bookings and the first 2 bookings in the first half, in the first 5 minutes should have been bookings, and it's almost as if, I don't know what it is with some referees. Some referees obviously don't like to, ruin the game, let's say, or they don't want to do the paperwork or whatever. But for me, that's a bookable offence at minimum. It's a penalty, no attempt to play the ball, through on goal. It's a penalty, and it should be a second booking. So that's where the red card is. Saying that, I think João Gomez is very lucky that he didn't get sent off just before their goal, actually, as well, when he committed a foul as well, similar sort of thing. So in terms of consistently bad and wrong decisions, I think the referee was up there yesterday. But yeah, for me, it's a red card, chance to go 2-2 against 10 men, and again, it's another game-changing decision, really.
Should have been against 9 men.
Yeah.
Should have been against.
At that point, it would have been 10 men. And again, different, with such a long time to go, completely different game.
So frustrating. I think that the last penalty, to be fair, as soon as he did it, I put in our group chat, yikes, because it looked like a penalty. Again, for me, I'm happy with it being given a penalty. I think it's naive from Gomez. Wilson knows what he's doing, but there's not massive amounts of connection, is there, Jord? But for them to still deem that obvious, clear and obvious error, and ask him to review it, I just don't get it.
It's not for me. Again, I think it's when everything's slowed down, it looks worse as well. Like in real time, it looked like Wilson dragged his back leg and was looking to win the penalty, and he does that. Wilson, he's done that for fucking. He's made a career out of it, really. It's one of those. If it gets given, it's not getting overturned. But I don't know how you look at that and go, it's clear and obvious that it's a massive mistake by the referee. The only time it looks clear and obvious is when, again, they start slowing it down and pixelating it. So they're putting it at like a quarter speed. And football's a contact game at the end of the day. There's always going to be contact. So if you slow down every single tackle, even 50-50s, the ball's going to go, and then naturally someone's going to leave something on one of the opposition players, and it'll look worse than what it is. Like for me, it's never in a million years a clear and obvious error. I don't mind it if it was given a penalty, like I say, but it's not clear and obvious like that. It's 100% a foul.
If they
For
give
me,
it
it's
on
not.
field, I understand it, but the fact that it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's a fucking disgrace, mate. It's an absolute disgrace. But
It's shoot at well in it as well. That's the thing. Like I saw something earlier on Twitter, which is mad. So like
red card.
I mean, yeah. So like he's given Wolves since we've been in the Premier League era. So obviously we've been down. We've been down to fucking League One in the time shootout has been in the Premier League. He's given Wolves 5 red cards. The next team next to that is 2. And also he's given with the second on his teams he's refereed, most fouls he's given against.
And the issue is with that, I can, off the top of my head, know 2 of those, and they were bullshit anyway. Because the one was Nenad Milias away at Arsenal, which was a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
And the other one was Jimenez against Leeds, second yellow, which shouldn't have been a second yellow when he's through on goal and against Melia. Yeah. So they were 2 straight away. He awful, genuinely awful, and they don't give a shit about that though. PGMOL, do they? They don't care about records and stuff. But that's just the fact that, like you've said, we've been down in the Championship for a number of years, down in League One for a year. He could have refereed Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, whoever, way more than us, and he's still refereeing us. And we're getting that amount of red cards. That's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's a Villa fan as well, isn't he? I know he's from like localish
Nuneaton, so likely.
Yeah, he just, you know what? If Harold Webb can do anything for us, just keep that knobhead away from our games. He's fucking terrible.
Well, we had him with a referee with Klopp, where I can't remember.
Oh, that was it was I know which one. Was it Paul Tilsley? Is that what he's called?
He's not going to referee another game, is he, for Liverpool or at Anfield?
I'm sure Klopp said I don't want him again.
No, we'll have no one reffing the games at this rate.
The red cards. He gave us a red card in the second ever time he refereed us in the Prem. That was for Stefan Meyerhofer. He then gave us a red card at Arsenal, which was the Milias one, which I alluded to earlier. He then gave us 2 red cards away at Middlesbrough when we beat him in the Championship. You know that game when we won 9 men. I think the Dock one, that game was very harsh. The Neves one I agreed with, but the Dock one was very harsh.
Dock one was stupid, yeah.
Palace away, 1-1 draw. We got a second yellow card. Who was that? That was Sace.
Was that when?
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that when Jota scored last minute and we were shot?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. And then the other one was... maybe he wasn't... Oh, it was Kevin Friend I'm thinking of for the Leeds one. Sorry, that was Kevin Friend. But still, the Milias one I remember vividly, and a lot of Wolves fans haven't liked him since then, to be fair.
And Simon Jordan was on about it today, and he said, I think you're quite... There's no integrity. Would Gary O'Neill come out if Fulham, those decisions have gone against Fulham and said, like, those decisions are wrong, yada, yada. It's got to be both ways. So I would kill to be in a position where we're in the conversation of decisions going for us, but there genuinely hasn't been one. So how do you expect Gary O'Neill to come out and say? And you know what? I think he would if they question him saying penalty. I think it's a penalty. I think he'd say probably not.
Yeah,
I'd agree. But the thing that we're getting into this area of now is like people are saying, "Oh, about it balancing out, or we'll get a decision our way." I don't want like a shitty decision go our way. I just want it to be officiated right, because it just dilutes the problem. If they start giving us favours, it dilutes that problem. Like, and again, they're not going to give us fucking any favours, but you know what I mean. Like, there's Just do your Roy, do your job.
Your job.
That's his job.
Do your job.
That's his job.
You mentioned there, Dave, about Meyerhofer. Underwhelming Austrians. Sasha weren't great when he come on, was he? I know he did well for the flick on, but you said it was a game for Fabio Silva to be introduced to, but you would say that because you're invested.
No.
No. Come on.
Fabio Silva, but because I think he could have easily brought Sarabia on instead of Sasha, and kept Cunha or whoever or Huang through the middle. But I think Fabio would have been better suited than Sasha. But I think when you're either drawing or losing a game, Gary O'Neill can't afford to bring Fabio Silva on, full stop, because he just, for whatever reason, if we lost 3-2, well, we lose 3-2 and Fabio's on, a lot of the blame somehow would have been pointed at Fabio Silva regardless. So you've got to be careful with him. So I don't think it worked at all with Sasha. I really didn't. I don't think he's a player with a 5 at the back when you've got potentially limited numbers going forward and you want to play a counter-attacking system. Sasha Kalajdzic isn't the striker.
They've got to get in January a player in, whether he's a winger or a centre forward, who can carry a ball, because that's when we're most dangerous. And then when you take Bellegarde off for him, it just
Neto out of the picture as well. Yeah,
it just nullifies us.
I thought as well. I mentioned it in the review. I think the amount of times we just got the ball and it went across the face of goal, and it was just like flipping it. Like Doc picked up, and that's another conversation to have. Doc picked up some great positions. And when Leno was almost stranded, Totti put in 1 or 2 decent balls right across the face of goal as well. And no one's on the end of him. And I thought, if you've got proper number 9 there, he's scoring 2 or 3 goals last night, just poking it past the goalkeeper. Just no one was in that sort of right area. And a good striker, it will be the right place, right time. And that's just what Wolves are lacking a little bit at times.
I think on reflection, a draw would have been a good result. I think we were pretty poor for
I think it would have been a fair result. Yeah.
Yeah. Referee rating, Dave?
2 out of 10.
Jord?
I'll give him a 2.
I'm going to go with 1. It would have been 2 if he'd have sent Gary O'Neill off for bringing Doc on. Renault mustn't be fit, surely.
He must not be
fit. He doesn't look fit.
That he picked up some great positions. I think if you had even Aït-Nouri, if you had a left footer there on that, where in the same positions, could have scored a couple of goals.
I know, but those positions he was getting into, like you probably to Jord probably knows more about this than you, Dave. But when you play like 11 aside or like 7 aside, and like you've took it past 4 players up the pitch, and you're absolutely fucked. And you can barely breathe, and you try and have a shot, and you're just like...
Why can't I relate to that, by the way? Why would I not relate to it? I'm not that good of a baller, or...
Well, more so that you're not as portly as myself, but more probably the fact that you probably can't take it past 3 or 4 players.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And you just like swing it, don't you, and fall over.
Yeah,
that's like...
That was after Doc after 1 touch, though.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It's like bloody chunks at fucking soccer aid. Like, he did pick up some good positions, to be fair to him, though, on his unnatural side, but I just think it left us really unbalanced.
It does, but that's what he's always been like, though, hasn't he? Like people will moan about him looking a bit languid and a bit lazy and a bit awkward, but then he does just. I don't know how he does it. He's just on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he shouldn't fucking be there for one. But he just sends to be there, so it's just you can't have it both ways, can you? Yep. If he'd have scored last night, everyone would have been like, "Oh, fucking, he's back."
He did have that chance as well when he got into the middle of the box, didn't he? Yeah. And just put it just wide. So I don't know. Frustrating. I think last night was probably the first time in a long while he got the tactical changes wrong. Gary O'Neill for me.
Hopefully, Aït-Nouri's not out for too long because he's been classed this season. But Arsenal versus Wolves at the Emirates on Saturday. No Lamina or Gomez, but Dawson surely comes back in, Dave.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Santi Bueno was okay, but I think you revert. You go back to the tried and tested back 3, and then the midfield. I think it's got to be Boubacar and Tommy Doyle, who started together. Was it Sheffield United? Was a little bit underwhelming.
No, that was Doyle and Lamina.
Was it? Yeah, sorry.
Doyle.
What game was I thinking of? Oh, maybe it was the Bournemouth I'm thinking of. Was it Boubacar and Lamina? Boubacar and João Gomez I'm thinking of, sorry. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, big chance of both of them. You know, we know what they're both capable of, both good footballers. So, but tough. And I sort of mentioned it to you. Like, I think I'd rather... you don't ever want to go into games, especially when Wolves have been playing so well. You don't really want to go into games thinking it's a free hit. But I think we've got a much better chance of winning against Burnley and Forest at home. So you'd probably rather have the likes of Lamina and João Gomez fit and available, for those two games rather than this one on Saturday. Yeah, I thought Lamina was great, by the way, last night. I know he got caught in possession for the one goal we conceded, but I just thought he looked fantastic last night.
He's starting to develop. I know it's because O'Neill said to him, I don't know, go and express yourself, but starting to develop into not just like a dynamic, tough tackling midfielder, but also can pick a pass. There's a couple of passes he played last night. I mean, the one where he set Wang free through the middle.
When he hit the bar?
Yeah, carved him open.
He's almost taken off, and I think people probably won't appreciate this until you maybe watch. So maybe like next Tuesday, if he starts against Burnley or Forest, whoever it is, just watch him for like 30 seconds because he's coming in deep to support the back five, very similarly to how Ruben Neves used to do to pick up the ball. But I think what Lamina has obviously over Neves is that, and he can beat a man as well, and he can take it past players. And he can take it past players as well. So I think in terms of range of passing and stuff, Neves was there, but Lamina is that little bit more complete, I think.
Strong thighs as well, mate. Very hard to nudge off the ball. Aaron Ramsdale linked to Wolves. Talking of Arsenal, Dave. Initial thoughts? Handsome bastard, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know, and obviously the whole Albion link for me is the one. But everyone's like, well, why does it matter? But he's given it the big one against Wolves before and put stuff on social media. I don't think it'll happen personally, but let's wait and see. I think it just completely depends. If there's genuinely an offer on the table from Saudi for 35-40 million, then yeah, maybe. And it would be nice to have an England international, you know. But nah, I don't think it'll happen personally.
I quite like him.
I don't think he's a huge upgrade on Sarri either, but and I know he's got a mistake and stuff in him, but he's proven at Premier League level. He's a Premier League goalkeeper.
He's better than Sarri.
Yeah, if you end up going abroad and stuff or bringing in a younger goalkeeper, you do risk, things a little bit. So I'd wait till the summer anyway. I don't think you'd want to disrupt that department halfway through a season.
If somehow Saudi's coming for Sarr and you turn a profit with the two moves, and I think you'd be daft not to, but he's going to be on big wages. I don't think he's necessarily want to come to Wolves because he fell in love with Arsenal. He's had his heart ripped out his chest, and he beat Arteta, who obviously can't stand the bloke. He's in that post-match press conference where he talks about trying to get him, quizzing him on the talks about Havertz. He's like, I'm so happy for him, and asking him about Ramsdale. He's like, yeah, the team did well.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, his face has changed as well.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll happen, but depends over the next month. See what game time he's got, and we'll see. But unlikely for me.
Jord, Rambo.
What a guy, by the way.
I don't think he's a very good goalkeeper, personally. I think the one department where he would be better than Sarr is I think he's better with his feet than Sarr.
Yeah.
And I know that stats don't actually show that. I think looking at some of the stats, they don't show, but I feel when I watch him, he feels far more competent on the ball than Jose Sarr. But I don't think he's an upgrade. He's a bit of a knobhead. Raging baggy.
Oh.
I don't think he's a raging baggy. I just think he plays up
but
to
his dad definitely is.
Yeah, but he's.
I thought you meant on the drugs. I thought you meant like a bag. Oh,
no.
I was just going to say a bit of controversy on the podcast. What do you know?
I absolutely do not know if he does anything. He can do what he wants in his free time. But
Sorry,
I've got no idea what he does.
A bit flustered.
He does play golf though. I did see him in
No, here we go.
Villamora last
So he's a
year.
good lad.
Yeah,
There you go.
he's meant to be quite good as well.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I did see him in Villamora playing golf. So yeah,
So
maybe if he wants to come on the channel and play some golf with us, we might accept him as
Talking
one of
more
us.
golf tournament next year. I
Yeah.
have started having lessons, so
mini golf only.
yeah, pitch and putt, Finchley Park. Large. Moving on to the questions, then you'll be pleased to know and also surprised that we have a question from a Mars Music Show.
Regular.
So on TalkSport, Simon Jordan said he thinks we voted for allowing owners of multiple clubs to loan players around each other because we have a great relationship with the Middle East. That's the first he's heard of anything like this. Do you have any further info? I've heard similar, and I think it's only through Mendes because of the relationship he's got with the Saudi Pro League and Ronaldo.
Yeah, I would say the same as well. Go on, Jord.
I think though we were one of the clubs that voted against it this time round.
No, we voted for
we voted against the ban. Yeah, we
voted against the ban. Sorry.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the loans. But
I think it would be daft not to.
I think when you done that deal for Neves, you're going to have some sort of relationship there, and I think, like you said, George Mendes is a big one. So, but we haven't, unless Fosun genuinely long term have got plans to invest in bigger clubs, but it's incoming loans as well. So from clubs under the same ownership. So I'm not sure unless they've got big plans to move.
Yeah.
If Fosun are going to sell the club though, and it's going to be Middle Eastern investment or parts of the club, then it's gonna come through George Mendes. He opens the door for it. So.
Well, and that was the rumor, wasn't it? That if Wolves were to sell up, there was interest from consortiums in the Middle East. So, yeah, no, very true.
Johnny Phillips said the same as well. So I think that's probably what he alludes to there. AB has asked, do you think Sasha and Fabio have futures at Wolves? I love Sasha, but he completely slowed the game down for us yesterday. Doesn't feel like he suits the way we play now. We'll start off with Sasha first, Dave. Seems a little bit premature for me.
Yeah, I don't think you get rid of him in January. I think he'll stick around until the summer at least, and that's a situation you'll look at then.
I don't think they'll be short of any interest though. I think there's quite a lot.
He's a unique striker, and he's if you can get the ball to him in and around the area, I think he'll score 9 times out of 10. But it's actually the way Wolves are playing at the moment as a counter-attacking team. Unfortunately, that I don't think it suits a striker of that ilk.
Jord, Silva. Is he done out here?
It's just no future, has he? I think it's pretty clear. The article came out as well in the international break. No smoke without fire. Yeah, I think he's done.
All the smoke.
A lot of smoke. So no, I think he's done. And like I say, I think he'll go on and have a good career elsewhere, but just not meant to be at Molineux, unfortunately.
Charlie's asked with the old goal pack thinking of doing a display to voice the concerns of the officiating against Burnley, maybe.
Yeah.
What kind of display would you like to see for upcoming home fixtures? Personally, I think it falls on deaf ears. I'd rather just focus the attention on getting some full length tifos rather than this VAR corruption, because it falls on deaf ears, and if anything, it goes against us. That's my personal opinion.
I would like to see. I'd assume pieces of paper, like printed pieces of paper, are cheaper. I understand it's obviously the fan-led initiative as well, but tifo would strike more, wouldn't it? I think.
Even if it was a tifo that alluded to I don't know, because everyone thinks it's corrupt. I don't think it's corrupt. I think it's incompetence, if anything.
Yeah. This is my thing with it all. When people keep saying, "Oh, it's corrupt," they're against Wolves or against whatever.
The shit for everyone.
The shit for everyone, but why? When it comes to corruption, I can understand that argument or that angle when you talk about United and even potentially Newcastle, where you'd be like, well, they're obviously paying off the refs, they're bigger clubs in the league at the moment, but you're telling me why would the Premier League be corrupt against Wolverhampton Wanderers, against Luton, Sheffield United, and Fulham? What benefit does it have to dock Wolves points and give Luton a point or give Sheffield United 3 points? Like that's where it's just pure incompetency. And I agree. I feel like he set a dangerous precedent by putting corruption and putting all these messages out in the stands, which you've got to have some sort of evidence of corruption. And like you can't say it's corrupt. There's no evidence that it's corruption. And then I just feel like then it's going to hurt the club because
the club will get fined.
It's almost it's slander, isn't it? It's slander. Like if you want to prove, everything's innocent until proven guilty. You can't just say something's corrupt until you've got some proof to back it up.
Well, I don't know.
It's pure incompetency. Not, but the problem. Well, if they're allowing it to happen, it's like I think Celtic got in trouble, didn't they, for some of their recent political stuff? Yeah, and it's like they all knew what was going on. They've all walked in the ground with Palestinian flags and stuff. Like if Wolves are if we're going in with certain messages that do not fit the guidelines of the Premier League, they'll just
I think the club have been funding a little bit of the displays. I don't think they would do it if they knew it was going to be something around that. Yeah, I'd like a full-length tifo. That'd be great across the bottom of the South Bank, but probably nothing to do with VAR. Rob has asked, why did we perform so poorly against teams in the bottom half of the table? Palace, Luton, Sheffield United and Fulham.
It will be interesting next week, I think, against Burnley and Forest at home. I think all four of those away games have been away from home, and you include Bournemouth as well. I know we won that game. We were slightly underwhelming, to be honest, before they went down to 10 men. So I think we saw it under Lopetegui. Lopetegui made Molineux fantastic. We had some great results there, and Gary O'Neill's done the same. But we do have to, if we want to start pushing up the table a little bit more, we do have to, start churning out some better results away from home. Because in all of those, Palace we were poor, Luton we were poor. I understand, obviously, we got shafted in a few of those. Sheffield United, we never really got going. And Fulham, although we scored 2, I still don't feel we threatened them enough. So, yes, VAR decisions have gone against us. We had Rob Jones tax against Palace as well. So, it'll be interesting next week. We've got to take our chances and make sure we get the wins against Burnley and Forest.
SJM has asked, genuine question. Can you see a team taking legal action against the PGMOL? Each position in the league is worth something like 2 million. I think it's 2.2. So even if Wolves don't lose any more points from objective incompetence, they will have already lost out on millions in prize money. No, because I don't know what you guys think about this, because a lot of the decisions are still, unfortunately, subjective. And also, if teams start taking legal action against refereeing decisions, and somehow they win a case, it sets a very, very dangerous precedent moving forward.
I can't see it happening either, because
sorry, Dave, go on.
I was going to say, say for argument's sake, Sheffield United. We saw Sheffield United get shafted by the Hawkeye years ago.
That's what I was going to say.
But if you go down on the last game of the season because the referees failed to give you a penalty, they can just say, well, what about the 37 other games where you could have won them? Like you see all the referee pages do. What about the other 37 games where, you miss 4 open goals and this and this? So I don't think you'll have a leg to stand on, really.
No. What do you reckon, Jord?
You need concrete proof to sue anyone, and it's what I just mentioned a few minutes ago. And if it's subjective and you've got no firm evidence that Howard Webb's saying, give that because I want Wolves to go down because I've bet them at 20-1 at Ladbrokes to go down. It's just not going to. You need proof. If it's subjective, you're not going to get any. It's not going to ever happen.
Yeah, it's not happening. Right then, guys, it is time for Career Path Game. It's been a while since you've done one.
Yeah,
I have been listening. Are you, do you need reminding about the rules again?
No.
No.
Cool.
How many we got, Matt? 5.
Yeah, you've got 5. So I'm going to read out. I'm going to read out the player's career, including where they've played, what year, how many appearances and goals they scored. If, for example, Dave shouts out an answer and it's wrong, Jord gets the next answer. Dave can't shout out until I get to the end of the career. If no one's guessed it correctly, then there's a 30-second shootout where they can just do as they please. So let's start with the first player on the career path game. Dave is storming into the lead, by the way. Dave and Jord have both played 4 games. Dave's on 11, Jord's on 6. Finn has played 2 games and he's on 3. So your first player started his career in 2002 at Luton Town, making 151 appearances, scoring 3 goals before moving to WolVARhampton Wanderers in 2007.
Dave Edwards.
Incorrect. Where he made 194 appearances. During his time at Wolves, he had 2 loan spells, one in 2014 at Blackpool before returning to Blackpool again the season after. He then made the move to Denmark in 2015, signing for Copenhagen, making 4 appearances, and then moved to Ipswich Town in 2016, making 8 appearances. In 16-17, he joined Charlton Athletic, making 15 appearances, and in 2017 joined Coventry City, making 12 appearances, and in 17-18 he finished his career at Billericay Town, making 15 appearances.
Kevin Foley?
It is Kevin Foley.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
You went
scared.
too
I was
early.
like,
You went too early, Jord. It's a bit of a
Shrews-
curve.
No, you-
Shrewsbury won it,
I, would,
David.
I went to. I was trying to get in the lead there, but
Cheeky.
I
To be
only
fair,
got
I didn't get
Kevin
that till
Foley
the
right.
last
You
one.
mentioned Billy Rickery.
I was really unsure
You?
until they got Billy Ricky.
Same.
Easy enough for you to say. Right.
Dave Edwards.
Dave Edwards.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Won the brand.
Dangerous. Your second player started his career in 1990 at Rafe Rovers, scoring 32 goals in 152 appearances. During his time there, he had a year on loan at Sligo Rovers, scoring 4 in 9. In 1996, he joined Hearts, scoring 48 goals in 157 appearances before joining Wolves in 2001, where he spent 5 years at the club, making 168 appearances.
Colin Cameron.
Colin Cameron?
Oh, come on.
Bagsman, he got a lot of goals, didn't he?
Yeah, he was good, man.
No, I mean in his early career, I was thinking striker.
He was good for Wolves.
Yeah, he was a good player.
He was. Dave, if you what's the forfeit for Jord if you get the whitewash?
He's got to do a TikTok dance on our Talking Wolves profile. I'm joking.
Yeah, I think that's the forfeit, surely. For every week.
Yeah.
You
If it's
happy
a
doing
whitewash,
that, Jord?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Mate, you've got
I do the TikTok.
you've
dance.
got another
I'll
free-
do a lot. There's a lot of things I'll do, but not a TikTok dance. Fuck no.
Get your knob out on TikTok.
Deal.
Yeah. He's just going to shout out like started his career at Portsmouth. Ruben Neves. Your next player and your third player. Jord, you've got 3 here. You can at least get 1 before you have to do a TikTok dance. In 1992, he started his career at Crystal Palace, scoring 11 goals in 101 appearances. During his time at Palace, he went on loan to Bournemouth in 1995, scoring 2 in 13, and then 1997 at Gillingham, scoring 0 in 4. He then moved to Swindon Town in 1997, scoring 21 goals in 80 appearances before moving to Wolves in 1999, scoring 15 goals in 87 appearances, and he ended his career at Wolves in the year 2006. It's George and Dar. Oh.
I wouldn't have got that one, to be fair.
I wanted to see you do a TikTok dance, mate. Wanted to see you do it. Oh, how disappointing.
Fair play.
You ready for your next player? This one's a toughie. I'll be surprised if you get this, but this player started his career at WolVARhampton Wanderers in 2004, scoring 2 in 13. During his time at Wolves, he had 4 loan spells: 04 at Hartlepool United, 05-06 at Blackpool, 2006 Bury, 2009 Colchester United. He only scored 2 goals during all of those loan spells. He then moved to Milton Keynes Dons in 2009, making 19 appearances before moving to Grimsby Town in 2010, making 9 appearances, scoring 0 goals before finishing his career at Notts County in 2011, making 4 appearances, scoring 0 goals.
Fucking hell.
Ooh. Short career,
So he
really.
made- So he was at Wolves for what? 5? He was at Wolves till 2009 and only played 12 times. Am I right in thinking that?
13 times scoring 2 goals.
And he was with Wolves from, what did you say his debut was? 2002?
2004.
Notts County.
This is going to be one of them. Striker, or can we not ask?
I'll give you his position, but as
Yeah.
soon as I give you his position,
30 seconds.
you get your 30 seconds. Let me just put a little timer on there.
Yeah, give us go through the teams again, and give us his position. Just give us the teams again.
Wolves, Hartlepool United, Blackpool, Bury, Colchester, Milton Keynes, Grimsby Town, Notts County. This player was a winger.
Oh, I'm gonna go. This is come out of thin air.
20
Lewis
seconds.
Goban. Lewis Goban.
Lewis Goban.
Come on!
Wow. He was a baller. Oscar as well, his brother, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to think one of the Elliott brothers, not Elliott, the other one.
Billy.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a shout, man.
Great feat.
What a shout.
I'm happy with that.
Wonderful stuff. Right, your final one. Jord, I
Can't
think
lose.
you
Can't
could
lose.
win this. You could win this. Istanbul. This player started his career in 2006 at Wolves, making 152 appearances, scoring 0 goals. During his time at Wolves, he had 3 loan spells, one in 06 at Bristol City, where he made 0 appearances and scored 0 goals. In 2007, he went to Stockport County, made 15 appearances, scored 0 goals. And in 2013, he was on loan at Yeovil Town, where he made 12 appearances, scored 0
Wayne
goals.
Hennessy.
It's Wayne Hennessy.
Yes, come on.
I was about to shout Carl Akimi, to be fair. I thought it was a keeper.
Dave?
Yeah, I remember him going to Yeovil, yeah.
The
Come
winner
on.
again, if you can update the scores.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Well done,
much.
mate. Well done. Jord, valiant effort, to be fair. Better than usual.
Yeah, he's got a fountain of ball knowledge, Dave has. It's all the FM.
Hey, he knows his soccer too.
That Goblin one was a shout and a half, to be fair. So.
I think you get the bonus point for that. We're calling it a draw.
I'll do as well.
No.
We'll call it a draw, yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it a draw.
No, you're right.
I think we do need to do a forfeit, though, if there's a whitewash.
We'll do that. We'll bring that up if Finn comes back and doesn't get one week.
Yeah. No, if one of you gets like 5 out of 5, then the other 2 have to do a forfeit.
Yeah.
Simple as.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think a TikTok dance is
game on.
Yeah, I think so. But it won't be one of these like raunchy ones. That's all we got time for this week. Anyone making a trip down to the Emirates on Saturday?
No.
Nope.
Plastico.
Premier League, corrupt as fuck.
I'm doing after the Arsenal. I'm doing every game. Well, I say every game. There's only one away game before Christmas, then, but I'm doing every game before Christmas.
West Ham, isn't it? I'm in Edinburgh for that weekend.
Irons. I'm doing the whole weekend in London. Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's the occasion? Just because of the footy?
Yeah. It's meeting up with a few pals off the other podcast I do, but one's a West Ham fan, so we're just staying in Stratford for the weekend, to be fair. So.
Oh, nice. Make sure you get the right Stratford.
Yeah. Lovely there. Shakespeare Town's lovely.
Yeah. on a little barge, aren't you, Abel? George, you're not going, are you?
Arsenal, nah. I'm away again. And plus, I'm the same as you. I don't really do aways these days. I would like to do one though. If we can all go together, that'd be nice.
That'd be cute.
Yeah, we can make that happen. We can make that happen. Oh, we won't get Finn involved because he's never here. But where are you at the weekend, Jord? What you got planned?
I got fuck all planned, to be honest with you. So far,
you said you're away.
No,
I'm away. I'm away.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm away for yeah. I'm away for that one. No, like I'm away with work a lot at the minute as well, and I'm back away again for a few days next week, back in Copenhagen. So I'm having a nice chilled one with Emma and the dog, and probably do the Christmas tree or something. To be fair, I knew. I could see Max bursting to say something. As well. You watch your mouth, son.
I don't know what you're on about. Before we go, Rebel Juice did ask, seeing as VAR has sucked the life out of football, let's talk about drinks. What is your favourite drink? I think that's a nice one to end it on. Could be soft, it could be alcoholic, it could be hot.
Everyone knows I'm a Pepsi Max man, to be fair. But I've swapped. I don't tend to drink beers on nights out anymore. On a night out, I've been going with the Di Serrano and Cokes, or Weatherspoons. They do AU vodka, so I have AU vodka with Pepsi as well.
Fucking hell.
Bloody hell.
Big girl.
Jord?
If I'm going for a soft drink, I'm partial to Coca-Cola.
Full sugar.
Not a fan of
At
Coke.
the lunchtime. Yeah, lunchtime hit for me.
No,
But obviously now it's getting a bit colder. I'm a big fan at the moment of big Sports Direct cup of tea and dunking some biscuits.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be a cup of tea. Overall, over a beer, over a Coke Zero, cup of tea. Good old cup of tea. Do you take sugar, Jord?
Nah. I used to, but now I'm sweet enough. There you go. Nah, I just don't bother.
I'm a black coffee man. I am.
A what?
Black coffee.
All right. Okay.
Puts hairs on your chest, that stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
Not for me, no. It doesn't.
I do like a coffee, but it has to be like a flat white or a latte or something.
I'll still make all of them.
Yeah, nah, not for me. Black coffee. Yeah, that's all we got time for. Dave, where can people find you should they wish to follow you?
At Dave as a party on Twitter and Instagram.
Jord?
Jord was 7 on Twitter and Instagram.
I am M Cooper Wrights and Matt Cooper Bites. If you're a fan of a curry, Finn won't be on the next one. He's sunning up in Mexico. He's in Mexico, isn't he?
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah. So he's on his 11th holiday of the month. Is it something like that? He does well for himself. He's like George. He's on holidays all the time.
Yeah, mine's always work. He's always in Mexico, isn't he?
He might be with work. You never know.
He could be, to be fair.
The cartel, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say he's fucking in the cartel these days. The amount of time he's there, he'll come back with a Mexican passport.
Maybe. Yeah, we are talking Wolves across all socials. If you have enjoyed it, please let us know. Drop us a like. And if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please drop us a 5-star review. It doesn't matter what you say in the comments. You can slate us if you want. You can abuse us, but as long as you give us 5 stars, that's all that matters. And until next time, try and enjoy the rest of your week. And hopefully we'll see you all next week.